Our beautiful planet Earth is undoubtedly the most stunning place to live in. Its splendor and charisma is spellbinding, which needs only the experience of enjoying it and living in peace and harmony. Unfortunately, we the humans have damaged the beauty and peace of the earth in many ways. May it be wars, religious extremism, racist acts, or use of unfair means for grabbing power. All these factors have caused discomfort, restlessness, depression, and strife for many in all corners of the world. Amidst all of this, if we dig deeply into it, we also find another world of tranquility, peace, and serenity. Here we find comfort, accommodation, spirituality, and sanctity. This is the world of Sufi saints who devoted their lives for love, peace, and harmony. These are places where thousands of pilgrims daily visit to seek blessings, harmony, and serenity. The lives of some are positively changed as a result of visiting these saintly places. This change is often inspired by the mystic verses of these Sufis.
वो कहते हैं कि भाई मजहब, फ़िरका वारियत, तफरका, ज़ात पात, रंग, नस्ल, तासुब, ये सब कुछ बहुत पीछे की बातें हैं। एक इंसान जो है ना, ये बड़ा अहम है, क्योंकि मालिक ने कुरान में एक बड़ी वाज़ेह अल्फाज में बयान किया है कि वलक़द कर्रमना बनी आदमा, और तहक़ीक़ हमने बनी आदम को बड़ी तकरीम दी हुई है। वहाँ ये नहीं फरमाया कि वलक़द कर्रमना बनी मुस्लिमा, ऐसा नहीं फरमाया।
Here we are going to talk about one of the eminent Sufi saints, the mystic poet in the subcontinent and author of renowned book of poetry, Saif Ul Malook. That is to say, Rumi-e-Kashmir, Mian Mohammed Bakhsh. We intend to determine the impact of Saif Ul Malook on common people, regardless of region, faith, and how this mystic work can bring social harmony in the world, especially in the cities like Bradford.
Mian Mohammed Bakhsh Saab did was, he took this beautiful epic piece of poetry and he turned it into a Sufi tale, which means he turned it into a teaching story where he incorporated all the folk wisdom of this land. So this story does not only, written in beautiful verse by the way, this story doesn't only teach us about the mythology of the times, but it basically teaches us how to live today and how to be a better human being. Beyond the confines of nationalities, religions, ethnicities, languages, cultures, just breaking it down to what it means to be human and what true universal human values are about. That's what Saif Ul Malook beautifully expresses.
Mian Mohammed Bakhsh was born in a village called Chak Thakra in Khari, situated in suburbs of Mirpur, Azad Kashmir in 1830. He was brought up in a very religious environment and received his early education at home. He was later sent with his elder brother, Mian Bahawul Bakhsh, to the nearby village of Samwal Sharif to study religious sciences. From childhood, Mian Mohammed had exhibited a penchant for poetry and was especially fond of reading Yusuf wa Zulekha by Nuruddin Abdurrahman Jami. During his time at the madrasa, Hafiz Nasir would often ask him to sing some lines from Jami's poetry, and upon hearing it so expertly rendered, would invariably fall into a state of spiritual intoxication. Once he had advanced a little along the Sufi way, he became more and more interested in composing poetry, and one of the first things he penned was a qasida, a quatrain, in praise of his spiritual guide. Initially, he preferred to write siharfis and doras, but then he advanced to composing stories in verse. His works include Siharfi, Soni Mahiwal, Tohfa-e Mira, Tohfa-e Rasuliya, Shiri Farhad, Mirza Sahiba, Shah Mansoor, Hidayatul Muslimin, Panchganj, Masnaviye Narange Ishq. He also wrote a commentary on the Arabic Qasidatul Burda of Al-Busayri and his most famous work entitled Safarul Ishq, Journey of Love, but better known as Saif Ul Malook. He wrote this book at the age of 33 years on wish and request of his elder brother Mian Bakhsh. He completed Saif Ul Malook in 1 year and it comprises of 9,249 verses.
What his elder brother Hazrat Mian Bakhsh asked him, Mian Mohammed Bakhsh, you are writing so many small stories. So better you come to this big ocean and write a story which is which shows your intellect, which shows your real power, which shows your real writing skill. So basically, this sort of the letter which he got from his elder brother, Hazrat Mian Bakhsh. Then he started to write this story. But he in the letter, Hazrat Mian Bakhsh said one thing very interestingly. He said that the story is pa is quarter. So you should make it kilo, a seer. Pa is like that. In this room we are sitting here, we are focusing just one corner. This is pa. But if this corner and the other corner and the back, the four corners are there, this is completion. So completion is that if you make the story from pa to kilo, pa to seer, pao, seer, brahmi kissa. This was the request, this was the verdict of the elder brother, Hazrat Mian Bakhsh Sarkar, to Hazrat Mian Mohammed Bakhsh.
His poetry strikes a unique chord with the listeners, moving them and galvanizing them. His poetry has the ability to intensely control and form human attitude and behavior. Saif Ul Malook is one of the most useful expressions of Mian Mohammed Bakhsh's inner expressions. It is also special because it is read all around the world in different social settings, regardless of religion, faith, or culture.
Well, first of all, let me say that I myself personally have enjoyed, and I know quite a lot of verses from the poetry of Saif Ul Malook, Mian Mohammed Bakhsh. Mian Mohammed Bakhsh is a poet for humanity. And Saif Ul Malook, according to my knowledge and experience, is a book which promotes humanity.
Generally, poetry of a specific region is renowned in that particular vicinity or surrounding areas due to its specific language. But Saif Ul Malook is distinguished and famous not only in all regions of Azad Kashmir and Pakistan, but it is eminent in equal measures in subcontinent and amongst the Punjabi-speaking public around the world.
The subject matter of the poem is not only addressed to the Muslims. It is addressed to everybody, The mysticism is universal. Every religion has got mysticism in it, There's Christian mysticism, there's Hindu mysticism, there's Muslims, there's Sikh mysticism. Mysticism is everywhere. And the Muslim mysticism is called Sufism.
Lately, it is also gaining popularity among the literature and language lovers internationally. It is a great feature of language used in Saif Ul Malook, that is to say, Punjabi, along with Arabic and Farsi.
Well, my experience is that in Pakistan especially, 98% Christians are from Punjabi background, and they speak Punjabi, and they fully understand Saif Ul Malook. And I know even some Christian singers who will sing Saif Ul Malook, especially those parts which are concerned about the humanity, relationship with each other as brothers and sisters, but also doing this because we all belong to one God and one humanity.
Mian Mohammed Bakhsh has logged awesome convergence of different dialects of Punjabi, including Potahari, Pahari, Majhi, Hindko, Multani and Bahawalpuri with combination of Arabic and Farsi. He rendered it with skill and flair, easy on the tongue and flows without breaking the melody or rhythm, indeed placing it as a linguistic masterpiece.
मियाँ साहब के कलाम की खूबसूरत बात यह है कि दुनिया की हकीकतों को लोगों के सामने लेके आए और जिस तरह शेरी अंदाज में कहा और जिस तरह उनके शेरों में, वैसे तो पोटोहारी लहजे में, पहाड़ी लहजे में, मालकोंस में बहुत सारे रागों में उसको पढ़ा जाता है और लोग सुनते भी हैं, एक बड़ी गहराई है। लेकिन कमाल की बात यह है कि अगर आप नसर में उसको पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें अपनी एक मौसीकियत है, वो अपनी मौसीकियत बड़ी बरकरार रहती है।
And the poetry of Mian Mohammed Bakhsh, I think, if someone wants to understand what's the major object of life, why we are here on the earth, so I think Mian Sahab explains beautifully, wonderfully. For example, when he says, कि जिस दिल अंदर होवे भाई एक रत्ती चिंगारी, a person who has a spark, एक रत्ती चिंगारी, a little spark, रत्ती is the smallest kind, रत्ती, जिस दिल अंदर होवे भाई एक रत्ती चिंगारी, एक किस्सा पढ़ पांबड़ बनदा नाल रबे दी यारी. A person who has a spark must be there. This is a Sufi, this is a wali. What he thinks good for him. He understands that this is the right path. He understands that the love of the God, that's the true, truthful meaning of the life. So he's also preaching in his poetry, in his verses, that love of God.
It is this appeal and the scheme of life that the author builds around that makes its message universal and appealing to people from different divides. It is in this respect Saif Ul Malook has become one of the important and compelling influences on those who turn to it for inspiration and guidance.
I think Mian Mohammed Bakhsh Sahab, he was a great Sufi and saint, and the message he delivered to ordinary people was that you live in peace and harmony, irrespective of your color, race or creed. In one verse he said, "Ik chitte ik sabz kabutar ik kale banaye, kale chitte milan Muhammad na mar bhain par aaye." He said it many years ago that it doesn't matter what is your color, who you are or what you are all equal and you should all live in peace and harmony. I thought that is a great message to the humanity.
Mian Mohammed Bakhsh was not only an exceptional scholar of the religious faculty, but he also had a deep and perfect understanding of the poetry, a poetry which springs from the soil of Punjab. The mystic poetry of Mian Mohammed Bakhsh is as much a literary classic as it is an embodiment of people's feelings, their culture, and whole concept of life. To understand these aspects of Saif Ul Malook, Professor Said Ahmed Farani translated Saif Ul Malook in English for the convenience of literary people and non-Punjabi citizens of the world.
I just thought the message of Mian Mohammed Bakhsh should go all over the world. So that's why I just started to write Great Sufi Wisdom series. So on Mian Mohammed Bakhsh, I have these two books, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So Great Sufi Wisdom, Hazrat Mian Mohammed Bakhsh. So this English language, which is also now common in Pakistan and also as international language. So I just thought the better I should write in Punjabi and English so that people who are Punjabis, but they are unable to understand Punjabi language, so they should understand Punjabi through English. It's a very strange effort.
Saif Ul Malook in English has led citizens around the globe to learn about the importance of interfaith harmony and affection highlighted by Mian Mohammed Bakhsh. Like all other ideologies, gaining external as well as internal harmony is emphasized in Islamic mysticism. People want to listen to Saif Ul Malook in the form of Sufiyana Kalam, Qawwali and other musical types for their internal gratification in order to avoid restless situations in their lives or to change the overall societal behavior.
The earliest thing I think I remember is Shaukat Ali singing, reciting a few verses of Saif Ul Malook. Since then, of course, that kalam or that piece of poetry has been in my mind and that piece of music. But as I said, it was much later in life that I actually realized what it was talking about.
Abida Parveen, Shaukat Ali, Hans Raj Hans, Sanam Marvi, Ustad Hamid Ali, and a long list of new generation singers got inspired by Saif Ul Malook and recited it with music.
रहमत दामी पा खुदाया बाग सुखा कर हरे बूटा आस उम्मीद दा मेरे कर दे मेवे परे।
However, Abda Parveen from the start of her career was so influenced with mystic poetry that it overtook her personality, and now she is renowned as the best mystic singer and musician around the globe. With her tender, spiritual and soulful voice, she is considered to be the unsurpassed recital representative of Mian Mohammed Bakhsh's spiritual poetic work, Saif Ul Malook.
क्यों कर रहे संभाला तके देवन वाले बोते ओ तके देवन वाले बोते तू हाथ पकड़न वाला
Mohammed Bakhsh has used a special kind of verse form in which, you know, he has expressed all his views concerning the difficulties of life when someone is facing them and how to overcome them, you know. And, the book is very much revered all over the world, and people respect it like they respect their holy books, you know. They keep it covered in silken cloth. They keep it high at high places. They don't touch it with unclean hands. So the book is highly revered, you know, and it is liked by all and sundry. Everybody likes it. Everybody loves to read it. Everybody wants to learn something out of it, you know, and there's an appeal and there's a message in it which is universally accepted and universally, you know, adhered to.
Throughout his life, Mian Mohammed Bakhsh travelled seeking out deserted locations where he would busy himself in prayer and spiritual practices, shunning the company of his fellow men. He died on the 7th day of the Islamic month of Zulhijjah, 1324 Hijri, that is to say 1907 AD, and was buried in Khadi Sharif, not far away from his spiritual great-grandfather, Damriya Wali Sarkar. To this day, many people visit his tomb with the intention of receiving spiritual blessings. His life has been a remarkable path for generations after him, following and then preaching the Islamic teachings, creating interfaith harmony and implanting the seeds of divine love. Even resting under the ground inside his shrine, Mian Mohammed Bakhsh lives in the hearts of people around the globe through his mystic masterpiece of Saif Ul Malook.
Oh, Mian, दुश्मन मरे तो खुशी ना करिए, दुश्मन मरे दुश्मन मरे ता खुशी न करिए, ओ सजना भी मर जाना, दीगर ते दिन गया मुहम्मद ओढ़क नू डुब जाना।